Big rivalries, big wins, and continuing legacies. Since 1920, the Southwestern Athletic Conference has been more than just a league. It's been a movement. From the roaring crowds to sold-out stadiums, year after year, SWAC leads the nation in FCS attendance. And now, the wait is over. Welcome to SWAC TV, your free all-access pass to the soul of the conference. Every rivalry, every win, every championship moment, captured, streamed, and celebrated. Stream SWAC TV, available on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Google Play, and Android TV. SWAC TV, where history is made and moments live forever.
Welcome back to another powerful edition of the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, y'all. I'm your host, Carl Bays.
JC.
And also Jay Nicole, my co-host over here. Listen, we got a lot to be able to get into, but I want to make sure we do one thing. Whatever you do, y'all keep it locked right here. Make sure you get to that YouTube page and make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the page. One of the things I always say, when you're not sharing, I always say sharing is caring. So make sure you do definitely share that. Now, before we get rolling, let's give a big thank you to our incredible sponsors, Mustang Cat and Houston Methodist. Your support powers this program on and off the field. Today we are live here at Quilts, Willowbrook. We want to shout them out for being able to allow us to be able to get out here on this patio and do something. So if you get a chance, make sure you come out sometime, be a part of our live studio. On the studio audience, make a clap. Let me know y'all. JC, what we got going on?
Yeah, this week we're diving into a tough one. The Panthers battle against Rice University. We'll break it all down, look ahead at what's next as we battle Northwestern State at home.
That's right. So, Coach, we're going to jump right into it, man. Listen, I know, when we think about the challenges of winning and losing and being able to learn some things from it, what do you think is one of the challenges that you run into with the team understanding this particular loss?
Yeah, I think it's all for our good. Playing against Rice, we were looking to recover and be better than what we were the week before. A lot of our guys, we got a guy transfers from Rice. We got a lot of FBS transfers in our locker room. So a lot of our guys kind of knew what they were getting into. And they also knew that we didn't play as well as we should have played with the last time we were at home the game before. And so we went into the week saying, hey, one, you can't get a win. Right? Doesn't matter about resourcing and all that stuff. We kind of let other folks talk about that. When we touch that grass, man, we trying to get all people when the words say go. And I was really proud of how our kids practiced, how they went about their business throughout the week. It was a different vibe. I don't think that vibe was because we were playing Rice. I think that vibe was because we know we didn't reach our full potential. And so our guys, the leadership stepped in, and we're an energy-based football team. That's what we are. After 3 weeks, the first quarter of the season, we found out that we're an energy-based football season team, and that energy followed us through the week, and I think we started the game in that manner.
So I want to bring something up. The 7-0 in the first quarter. We're up 7-0, and there was a fumble that happened.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was a pivotal change? Talk to me about it. Let's kind of get into that little piece.
Yeah, so I think officials and instant replay people, they got a really tough job, man. I honestly didn't see it enough at the stadium to make a determination or not. I just know that they didn't show us at the stadium like they normally do, right?
Yes.
So when people don't show you something on the screen over and over again,
That's right.
it might be trying to hide
Yeah.
something. They went to a point where the screen was showing on the big screen.
Right.
Turn that screen.
Turn the camera, yeah.
And so, I can't get fined because we're not in that league, right?
Right.
But I don't know. And I think it was a bang play. I was really proud of Mandel Eugene, who hit the quarterback, which he hit him with velocity. When you hit people with velocity, then things happen. Balls get jarred loose, and so only God knows. But
I know it.
I really think it was out there.
I'm gonna take the pressure off. At the end of the day, I felt like with instant replay capabilities and to be able to show it on the Jumbotron, they were not exercising that enough for the audience in order to be able to keep control of whatever the outcome was.
Yeah.
I know you can't really expand on that, but I felt like that because I wanted to see it again and be able to establish my own opinion, and not from, necessarily a host of the coach show, but just from the spectator.
Yeah, the thing that people don't know is that Sunday, when we watched the tape, right, and we watched that play over and over again, our players said, probably shouldn't have let them down there and get to that thing. So when your team says that, then me as a coach, I can't sit here and hold on to it all night long because the player said, because we should have, there was a third down earlier in the series, we had a chance to get them off the field, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't even came to that. And so I think we're headed in the right direction when guys start saying stuff like that.
I like that. JC, you got a question, Coach?
I do. So we spoke about knowledge of partners. We spoke about people stepping up, a few more key players that show the fight and execution.
Yeah, I think.
Specifically, sorry to cut you off, specifically in the first half and in the first half of the game.
Yeah. I thought our quarterback started today. Tevin Carter, he started for us at quarterback. I thought he started today extremely hot and fast. And Jay Rockwell had another good day. He's our leading receiver at the moment. He caught some balls that really got us in scoring position. Trevon Jones caught a touchdown to put us up 7-0. I think when you look at it, though, you always look at the line play to see when you talk about FBS versus FCS, it's all really in the line play, right? And I thought our offensive line, in a new format, new guys in, I thought they held up really well. Rice had some really big guys on the D-line.
Right.
And so I really was proud of our offensive line. And then when you flip over with what they did offensively, we don't see that. Nobody swapped runs yet, right? Nobody that we had seen thus far runs that style of offense. I thought our defensive line really withstood a tough challenge, especially Elijah Warren Sparks. Elijah Warren Sparks is the biggest person at Prairie View had. Period. Wow. Nobody bigger than Elijah. Right? And Elijah Warren started the game, and we asked him to take care of the middle of the offense. And he did. Yeah. All the runs and things of that nature happened in the perimeter. And so I think those guys really stood up. It happened in the line play. But when you watch the games, FBS versus FCS, it's normally total domination in the line play by the FBS team. They walked away from their hook too. Yes, they had to get into some ice baths too. And so I was really proud of the physicality of the line play.
I got another question before we go to break, and I want to make sure you share this. From your perspective, what went right and what went wrong, and how do you compartmentalize that and deal with that?
Yeah, what went wrong is we had a penalty that led to them getting a touchdown after we had made a punt. And so we had another penalty later on in the game that hindered us from getting the first down. And so we went to work extensively on these penalties. Now we coached it, we talked about it. I've had on my referee hat and threw a flag out there one day. We've done about everything we can do, and so you hope that our guys understand in those pivotal moments not to hurt ourselves. So we didn't have a lot of penalties. It's just that the ones that we had were the pivotal moments, right?
Yes.
What went right was that we started fast. We said we wanted to start fast. We said we wanted to play fast. They didn't run us off the table. You see some of these games, man, people are getting ran off the table. 70, 60, all of this stuff. And I really thought that was about a 24-point team.
That's right.
And so we gave up 38, but I thought our guys started and played fast the whole night. And regardless of what the score was, we didn't quit. And you might say, well, Coach, you're not supposed to quit. We're a new program.
Right.
We're still trying to figure out who we are in the third game, and now we know we don't have quitters.
That's right. And so with that said, you guys don't be quitters either. Y'all sit tight. We're going to be right back with the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. See y'all in a sec.
Imagine you are her or him. Like everyone, a sprain, tear, or nagging ache can set you back. Until your expert orthopedic team at Houston Methodist uses advanced technology to personalize a treatment plan that's minimally invasive, heals your pain, and gets you back to life on your terms. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it for you. Houston Methodist. leading medicine.
Welcome back again, y'all. The Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. We're back to Football Talks back. Again, we want to send a shout out to our sponsors, Mustang Cat and Hester Methodist. I want to make sure I shout them out correctly. Your support powers this program and on and off the field. So make sure you continue to support our program. Also, too, whatever you do, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I can't say that enough because one thing I say, sharing is caring. So make sure you hit that share button. Now, Coach, I want to jump back into something, and then we're gonna wrap up and then talk about this week. But I definitely want to share something. There was a moment where, more than anything, when you all went into halftime, what was the temperature like of the players at that time, or what did they need to do in order to be able to get them to come back out and have, the same fight, if not more?
Yeah, it's a common thing that we ask our guys at halftime. If something's going wrong or right, is it us or is it them? What's the issue and whose fault is it? We teach our guys that it's somebody's fault,
Right.
whether it's us doing a good job or us not doing a good job. And so we wanted to take the adjustments, knowing that we had made some mistakes early on in the first half, offensively and defensively, and on the special team, we wanted to get those adjustments in fast. I've been really proud of our coaches for getting in at the half in short time, making the adjustments, because I do think when you look at all of our third quarters, we played pretty well throughout the season so far. And I think that's a direct reflection of those guys getting in and making those adjustments and the players adhering to those adjustments. And so they came out and they were ready to go. And I thought we fixed the issues for the most part.
That's right. So, because one thing that we know we all stand by is they say the character of a man or woman is defined by how they respond to adversity. So your team's character now, if you had to give it a rating between 1 and 10, based on this loss and the loss before, what would you give it?
I don't know a number rating. I would just say we like adverse situations. So in every game, we've been in some adverse situations, right? Like it's been adversity the whole season for us. I'm really ready for us to stop being adversarial. And just kind of check my people for the words' sake.
Right. That's right.
But no, I think it's the way that we do things in the program. We try to be tough. We try to be physical. We try to have a lot of grit. And we talk about those things. And I think those guys have displayed that throughout the season thus far. And hopefully they get a chance to really start fast. We've kind of been missing some things.
Yeah.
One game we might not have started as fast, but we played better here. One game we might have had a lull in the middle of the game. So now we're trying to find that complete four quarter game, and hopefully it's this weekend.
Okay, JC, do you have a question?
Yeah, and so earlier you mentioned energy. Sorry. Earlier you mentioned that you guys are energy based. How do you plan to keep the momentum going when you don't have like a halftime break to sit down and talk to the players and just really have a one-on-one?
Yeah, we practice everything, right? We practice TV timeouts, we practice half times, we practice going in locker room, coming back out. And so we have moments on the sideline and cold words, if you would say, to get our guys going from an energy standpoint. We tell guys there's never going to be anybody at the stadium that's cheering for you. We know that that's not true, but we try to get them in this mindset of we're all we got when we go to a stadium. You might have your family, but you're not probably going to hear them because the band is going to be playing. It ain't out here. And so we try to get them in these situations and make things chaotic in practice so that we can focus on us and creating our own energy. And that's worked for us so far. It's worked for us in places we've been. If you come and watch us practice on a Tuesday and Wednesday, it's chaotic. It is crazy. Like, we just try to put them in those situations and see if they can maintain the energy. And so to someone outside of our program, you would think we're the craziest people in the world. But we tell them that not only is the game crazy, but life is crazy.
That's right.
And sometimes you got to sit down and really focus on what's important. And the energy for us is what's important.
Right, and composure.
Yep.
I think composure is a good one. Listen, this week, we host Northwestern State University. Now, I know you've done your research. You and the coaches have gotten together. What kind of opponent are we facing, and what stands out to you about their style of play?
Yeah, I'm a lover of coaching, man. Like I put a lot of value, a lot of stock in the way people coach. And the first thing that stands out is how tough they are from the last year's program to this year's program. They had a new head coach last year. I had a lot of respect for him. Where I was, he was in a close area to us. He was in Division III, and man, he did a really good job at that program. And so watching what he implemented last year and now watching them in the first 3 games, I think they're well coached. I think they're a disciplined football team. They ran into 2 Power 4 teams. I don't know if an FCS team in the country has played back-to-back Power 4 football teams. And so, but when you look at the first game and how they started, they hadn't won a game in 2 years, and they beat Alcorn State 20-10 to start the season. And it was one of the first games of this season. And so you can tell that their program is fully implemented. They're playing the style of ball that he wants to play. And so for them to not be playing a guaranteed game and to get back to this FCS level, and I think they're geared up and ready to go, and I respect the way that they play the game.
So let me ask you this: when you say their style of ball, what does that look like? What should we kind of expect? And then I don't get to too much about how you are going to mitigate or counter that, but tell us what the style of ball is.
Well, they're coach and the former O-line coach, so they're gonna run the ball. It ain't no secret in that. And when they don't feel like they can run the ball, they're gonna fake a run and take a deep shot. If you go back and look at last year's game, the first play of the game, they opened up with a deep shot just off a play action pass, went like 75 yards. Like it was a deal. Like so they're gonna try to run the football, establish a run game, and then hit you with some intermediate passing game. Not a big RPO team. They do some things under center, which in our league we don't see under center, and so it's kind of like going back to the fundamentals of ball, man. Like these guys, they got a really young quarterback, so they're not going to put him in a bad situation. They're going to rely on the run game and the intermediate passing game, and then they're going to rely on their defense. Their defense is where their experience is. Got a lot of guys flying around on defense, and then when you look at the special team game, you can't find the hole. And so they're really solid on special teams, even against the opponents that they should have been solid against.
Right.
And so I think, those guys they're well coached. They're going to have a really good plan because they're well coached. We've got to match and exceed their enthusiasm.
I love that. Match and exceed their enthusiasm. JC, you got something, bro? JC said we can move on. Okay, so let me do this. I want to make sure you share with us from the beginning of the season to where we are now, where inside of the team or with the team do you think is the biggest jump right now?
Yeah, I think where we were from when we got here on the offensive line to where we are now, I think you can see it. And I know you can see it when others that play against us see it. Their coach kind of said some things about the differences in the offensive line play from a year ago that they faced to what you see now. Those things, those conversations confirm what I see, right? And so it lets me know that we're on the right track. We've got some things internally that we've got to still get fixed. But I just think from an overall standpoint, got a lot of guys with great attitudes, a lot of guys that we want to be at Prairie View and we want to play for one another. That's right. And so it ain't perfect, but it's so much better than when we got here until we value that growth, especially when you're big. And so you can feel it in our rooms, in our meeting rooms, in our building. There's still a high level of energy, high level of expectation there. Right. And so I think anytime that the players make a decision that they're still bought in, even after not being successful twice, you still got an opportunity. And I think I left today, our guys were really excited.
That's good. That's what I like to hear. Listen, y'all, hang tight a little bit. We're going to be right back with the coach because I definitely want to get a little bit more personal with it. Swing tight. We're going to be right back with the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. Hold tight.
This year, we're keeping it 100. The 100th Anniversary State Fair Classic, Saturday, September 27th at the world's largest fair. Enjoy the Southern Soul pregame concert on the Chevy main stage. Then Grambling State versus Prairie View A&M. The halftime show, world-famed, versus the Marching Storm. And the post-game concert, TLC, at State Fair Classic. Tickets at Ticketmaster and all usual ticket outlets.
Welcome back to the wonderful Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. Listen, I wanted to make sure that we got in here. JC asked me a couple of questions, and I was like, look, let's definitely ask Coach that. We talked about the run game from the previous opponents, and I know it's something that you wanted to definitely ask Coach about the run game they're facing this week.
Okay, so Coach, looking at our previous 2 games final scores, we did see a difficulty in stopping the run. How has your team prepared this week in practice? How do you think that they're facing up? And do you think that we are prepared for Northwestern's heavy run game?
Yeah, so the run game is like build the house. It goes brick, mortar, brick, mortar, brick, right? And what I mean by that is it's purple, whatever color they are, purple, whatever color they are. And if you ever get 2 purples or 2 whatever color they are,
Right.
that's not
It's not going to fit.
right?
No, it's not.
And so we've had to really teach that. We got a lot of guys coming from a lot of different systems, and we've had to really emphasize that over and over again. And I thought that, last week, it doesn't show it in the run yardage because of how much they ran the ball. But there are some fits, as we call them, that we cut out and we can cut up and show our guys this is what it looks like. And so we've got to continue to get better at that. The game before the Rice game, we were doing well in the run game, and then they sprung a long one at the end. And so what we try to do is be people see over 100 yards and go, oh, they ran the ball.
Right.
Well, if they ran the ball 60 times,
Right.
they're probably going to get over 100 yards, right? And so what we try to be is 3 yards or less in the run game on average. We achieved that the first 2 games of the season. We didn't achieve it this past week. And anytime, I'm a D-line guy by trade.
Right.
I don't want nobody to run that ball nowhere.
Right.
And so we have to do a better job at that. But we've addressed it. We continue to address it. We have what we call Whack-'em Wednesday.
Uh-oh.
And on Wednesdays, we put on full pads and we'll go play football. We don't worry about the game on Saturday. We're trying to whack each other up. And because the run game has to be physical. And so I was very impressed with our guys yesterday with how they went after it in the run game and looking forward to them having a good week this year.
Wow. So I had something I wanted to make sure I got a chance to ask you, Coach, and it's probably bringing the family into the world of Coach and asking it from an intimate standpoint. I know your pedigree. I know you come from winning culture and understanding that you have 70-some odd new players.
Yeah.
You're trying to make sure you develop this winning culture, winning attitude, while also, meshing them together to be able to collectively work together while dealing with the beginning of a season. Where do you feel, well, let me ask you, do you feel any pressure, not just from the alumni, the fans, or the administration, but do you feel pressure amongst yourself? And how do you deal with that going week in and week out and having to be able to face these different opponents?
Yeah, I don't think it's pressure. I think, when you walk in here with a level of expectation. Now, when I talked to AD Golf, it wasn't about the 3-year plan. Right. This was like, we're about to get this thing going right now.
Yeah.
And so for us, man, we can't get over not being successful.
Right.
My grandma used to say, it'll work if you work it. We work it.
Right.
And I needed to work. You know what I mean? And so patience is not a thing that we're really good at. However, you do understand that some things take time. Now, I'm not saying it takes years, but we needed some games.
Right.
You can only play against yourself so much.
Right.
And so it's some things that we saw against others that we needed to get fixed. And so we've been able to adjust it. And I'm encouraged by where we are. I don't think this is going to be a long time. I'm not going to seek comfort and say, we got 72 guys.
That's right. That's right. And excuses. That's right.
That's the way of our world.
Yeah.
I've been in places where we had 87 new guys. Still got it done.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of one of those things where the expectation is so high from when we walked in the door. I'm not the fans. The fans didn't place this expectation.
Right. Right.
Me and AD Golf had a conversation. And that conversation said, this is what we're coming to do. Mm-hmm. Period. So a fan can be a fan.
Right.
The expectation was set in a conversation a long time ago.
Right.
And man, when you come from where we come from, you play in a national championship game, all I can think about is playing in a national championship game.
That's right.
And what it took to get there. And I know we can do that here at Prairie View A&M, and we're going to do that.
That's right.
And so we just go to work every day with our head down to make sure we're executing the plan the right now.
I love it. I love it. I know some people wanted that question to be answered because at the end of the day, nobody finds comfort in losing.
No.
And nobody should have any type of feeling of complacency. So we're making sure we're still here for you. We're navigating, we're fighting as well to be able to see this team through, to the victories that they are actually, on their way to. In the meantime, JC, did you have another question? Something?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we talked about playing in the national championship, wanting to make it there. You aren't quite finished with non-conference play,
No.
but we are heading into conference play. How have these non-conference games shaped you, and do you not like playing, but do you see that they're valuable?
Yeah, I love playing non-conference games. We want to be a national power. We want to be in the top 25 in the country. We don't want to be just in the HBCU top 10. We want to be in the AFCA top 25. Those are measuring sticks for national programs, right? Those are things that we're accustomed to, and we plan to bring those things here. And so, yeah, we love playing non-conference games. I think Eddie Golf and I were looking at our schedule. I think we're booked up through 2030. We got some really good non-conference games on slate. Man, we beat everybody. That's our mindset.
Yeah.
Beat everybody.
That's right.
We don't just beat people in our league. Right. And it's no disrespect to our league because it's a really good league. But we want to play the best people. We think not only do we want to be a national power, but that gets us ready for our conference, because in our conference, you don't know what you're going to see. And we've seen a multiplicity of schemes, a lot of different type of players. It also exposes our program to others across the country when it's time to transfer. You know what I mean? They say, oh, man, I saw Prairie View A&M on film versus so-and-so. Them boys look pretty good. And so there's a lot of reasons why we always want to play non-conference games. But I enjoy them. I enjoy going to play against other people that we don't see, that we don't normally have a rivalry with. And then when we do have the rivalry within conference, we enjoy those too. But those first 4 weeks of the season, we intend for those to be, and throughout, whenever we can get them, we intend for us to be a national power. And so in order to do that, you got to play people from across the country.
And you feel like that level of play, definitely sets a bar. So definitely when conference play starts, the guys are definitely ready to go.
Yeah, people don't know this unless you play, right? Like, man, the speed of the game on certain levels is so fast. We were out there Saturday night, and I went, whoo, it's a counter.
Right.
With the same speed the week before.
Imagine you are him. Like him, you want to be your best. Your Houston Methodist Sports Medicine team uses the latest treatment and technology to keep you strong. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. For you, Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Welcome back to the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. Listen, Coach, before we get out of here, I want to make sure we get a chance to be able to really talk. I know that sometimes people throw around the word transparency, like it's light, and they're very passive with it, and people say that they want it. I don't know. I want to know from your perspective, do you feel like you are transparent as it relates to the players, no matter what you're doing, no matter whether it hurts or not?
Yeah, I would say to a certain extent. I mean, we gotta understand who we're coaching, how they were raised, have a real intimate knowledge of our guys in our program. We often say coaching is tailor-made. It's not one size fits all. The way you wear your suit is not the way I wear mine.
That's right.
And we have to understand that when we're giving information to our guys, when they come in my office, it's important, right? We're still trying to get to the point where they just come in, chill, hang out all the time.
Right.
Normally, either they want something or I've called them in there. And when they walk in,
right,
then there's some business that's got to be taken care of, right? And so in knowing that, then I've got to know how to coach that guy, how to get him back to where he needs to be, or get his question answered the way it needs to be answered, based on him.
Right.
The way I might say something to one guy is not the way I can say something to another guy. Or we might have two of the same guys, right? So I might just meet with them together.
Right.
And so being transparent is really broad. And so we're transparent to a certain point based on what you can handle. We're not going to lie to you, but some guys just can't handle certain conversations a certain way.
That's right.
And so we understand that. And you can fracture your program. You can fracture it extremely early, especially in the new phase like we are, just by trying to be overly transparent.
That's right.
And so we tell parents that too on the front end. We're only going to tell you what you need to know. Get the rest of it from your son. He don't talk to you anyway, so you probably won't get very much from him either. It just is what it is.
Right. So when knowing that you have to be able to have a very, very hard conversation with, let's just say particularly with a starter.
Yep.
And you have to have a very tough conversation because his performance hasn't been what you know it could be. And how do you address that while still being able to empower him to do better?
Yeah, we talk a lot about we can get through anything with honesty and communication, right? Okay. Even if the worst thing you can do, we can get through it as long as you're honest and we communicate with one another, right? And so when we have to have those conversations, we don't run from them. We hit them head on. We say exactly how we feel about the situation.
Got it.
If a guy's not playing well, he's not playing well. We try to get to why you're not playing well. If you tell me you're not playing well because you don't know the plays, that's your fault.
That's exactly right.
Like, if you tell me you're not playing well because there's something going on at home with
That's
your
right.
parents and you didn't know it, then now we got a different conversation we got to have.
Right.
But you being honest with me and us as a program, you're allowing us to be able to coach you. Coaching is far greater than just being on the football field.
That's right.
You got to coach in the meeting room. You got to coach in the offices. You got to coach when you're on campus. You're just coaching, and we don't just coach football players. We coach young people.
That's right.
And so we say things we tell guys across campus that don't play nothing what to do. Hey, man, pull your pants up. This ain't how you come out here.
That's right.
And we do it as a staff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think that's really unique about us, and we can have those hard conversations the way they need to be had without somebody feeling like we've disrespected them.
Do you feel like your coaching staff, everybody's in the same vein as you?
Yeah, not necessarily the same vein. We don't have a bunch of yes men. I mean, but we have people that want to coach young people.
Got it.
And that want to see the success of young people using the game of football. That's a requirement to be hired.
Right.
I think I got a lot of strong personalities on our coaching staff, and that's good for me.
Yeah.
Because when I'm out of line, when I'm wrong, they'll tell me.
That's good.
I mean, I got guys that I've coached on my staff. I got guys that are well older than me that I've worked with on my staff. And we do a really good job of keeping each other in check while also having a good time because we spend a lot of time together.
That's right.
But ultimately, everybody on our staff is about young men and women.
That's right.
And that was the requirement that it took to get on this staff.
So you guys have your own accountability partners inside of your staff as well?
Yeah, if I say something wrong and that somebody don't agree with, they'll tell me.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, there were some players that I was kind of out on. And one, Coach Colbert was like, hey, Coach, might want to take another look at him.
Right.
And rightfully so. It worked out for us in that manner. Because sometimes in my role, I can just get frustrated at something from the budget office.
Gotcha.
And then walk in and go, man, he can't play. I'm just trying to control something that I can control, right?
Right.
And so you need people to keep you in check.
That's
you need people to help you. Again, I got an AD that I can do that with too. And man, tell me what's wrong with that dude as a player.
Right.
But also when these guys get in trouble, helping to make decisions, because we do have guys that get in trouble.
That's right.
Helping to make decisions ultimately that won't embarrass our school and our department. Man, I got a lot of people around that I can lean on for that and that tell me when I'm wrong.
Right.
And I think in leadership you need that.
Do you feel like sometimes you're put in positions, and this has a lot to do with, the acumen of winning. Do you ever feel like, knowing that you are leading yourself towards a win, lays you in a lane sometimes of compromising your integrity?
Yeah, we're not a win at all costs, but we're a win. We want to win, though. You know what I mean? Let's not make that mistake.
Right.
But we're not going to violate our morals.
That's right.
And the things that we were raised on. We would be hypocritical if we did that.
That's right.
Telling our guys to live right, telling our guys to study hard. You'll be able to get what you want. You can achieve whatever you want to do just by doing the right things and treating people the right way. And then we go and do something backhanded. Nobody likes a hypocrite, right?
At all.
Nobody wants to hear from that person.
That's right.
And so we try to do things the right way all the time. Sometimes the right way is harder than lying about something.
Right.
And so you got to make sure that you're doing it in that manner. But having those people on your staff that understand what the ultimate goal is, it makes it easy for us to make decisions because we know we're doing it with the right intent.
I love it. JC, do you have something for Coach?
Yes. Okay, so we spoke about your coaching style, which is a parental style of coaching. How do you think that your coaching style meshes with egos that might arise across the team?
It don't mess well with no ego.
Okay, but how do you and your staff correct them?
Again, it's confrontational. And when you have a confrontational style, it might not go well at first. These guys are competitors, right? You tell a guy he did something wrong and he thinks he's competing his tail off, he might take it the wrong way.
That's right.
But we also don't hold guys hostage to the competitive nature. We don't disrespect them. We don't take disrespect. But a guy saying, "Man, coach, I got you," that don't bother me. And so I think coaches have gotten into a real sensitive mind state, right? Like, guys say stuff back sometimes, and they're not always being disrespectful. We try to do a good job and see how a guy was raised. Like, the home visit for us is important, because if his mother or his father tells him to do something and he say, "Yeah, I got it," and they don't say nothing,
Right.
and that's just the way he was raised.
Speaks volumes.
And so we there's, again, knowing our guys and where they come from and how they're raised really helps us with how to coach them, right? Some guys on our team, man, I cannot yell at. I can't, like, if I yell at them, it is the end of the world. Some guys I can yell at and they'll be like, "Whenever you get done yelling, I'll still be here." Like,
Right.
they kind of have that attitude,
That's right.
right? And then some guys, it gets them going. And so just trying to really have an intimate knowledge on how to coach each individual, it takes a long time.
That's right.
It takes a long time. It's a lot of time being spent, but it's so necessary and worth it.
There's so many people, especially young people, have so many different types of learning styles.
Yep.
And you've obviously observed that. You understand how to be able to approach that and know how to be able to get them to the winning goal of being able to get them to perform at the highest level.
Yeah, man. There's walkthrough guys, there's classroom guys, and then there are guys that are just so smart until you can tell it to them. Man, we got a running back. You don't have to tell him. I mean, you don't have to write it down.
Right.
You can just say, "Hey, I want you to do this," and that dude will remember it. Sit in the meeting like he ain't taking no notes, because he ain't.
Right.
But go out there and execute it.
Wow.
And you get mad at those guys, right?
Yeah.
Because they're low key. They're like, "Man, I can't do that."
Right.
So you get mad at a kid for not taking notes, right?
Yeah.
But some guys got it.
Yeah.
And so you got to know how they learn, how they operate. We got a lot of walkthrough guys. I tell our coaches all the time, get out of the classroom.
Yeah.
Go to the field. Walk through it.
Yeah.
Because that's how they learn by
It's
doing
repetition
it.
and by doing it.
So there's a poem that says, "I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day," right? And so really, we try to show it to them on as many levels. In teaching the way we teach, we try to give them things 7 times before they do it in the game. And so I can't go into the 7 ways because, I ain't wrote the book yet. and I'm not going to give away no information that I ain't getting paid for, right?
Right.
But there's 7 different ways that our guys will get a play, they'll get calls, they'll get things that they need before they actually have to go execute it in the game, and we try to know how they learn.
I love that. Learning styles. Now, I'm going to give y'all some learning styles. Those that are watching. Panther Nation, listen, we got a big weekend this weekend. We got a great home game. It is the Blackout. Coach, tell them where we're going to be, what they need to do, and how they need to get there.
6 p.m. Panther Stadium. Ride your motorcycle.
That's right. Hell or
I'm
high
looking
water,
for
you
big
need to be there.
engines.
That's right. Make sure y'all get there. Come out this weekend, y'all. It is the Blackout. Find all your black clothing. Make sure you be in the building. We need to make sure we root our Panthers on. The game starts at 6 p.m. at Panther Stadium. You want to make sure you do that. I don't care what you got planned. Move that thing around. Be in there. JC, you want to say something to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the PVAMU athletics page so you can see this episode and more of my work, such as On the Set with Panther Vision, where we'll have Coach Jackson as well as some players.
That's right, y'all. And again, big shout out to our sponsors, Mustang Cat, Houston Methodist, and definitely Quotes Willowbrook. We appreciate you all allowing us to be able to take over some space and have a great time here. Shout out to all our studio audience. Listen, make sure you're at the next live because we got a big week next week as well. But before then, Northwestern State University, you on deck. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Do everything I would. We'll see you on the next one. Holla Black.
Go Panthers.
At Prairie View A&M University, excellence isn't just a word, it's our legacy. A legacy nearly 150 years in the making. You see it in our nationally ranked programs, groundbreaking research, and in our nearly 90,000 proud alumni transforming communities across the globe. Prairie View A&M University. Changemakers are bred here. Pioneers emerge here. Excellence lives here. Your brilliance belongs here. Start your journey at pvamu.edu.